Hello guys, it's Channy. I know it's been a very long time since I did a video or checked in with anybody, but I've had to work up to getting back and making a video. I've only been back from deployment for not even a month, but I thought I would make a quick video just to update everybody. I got to Japan, and then I believe 2 weeks later we went straight on deployment. Luckily, my command gave me a sheet of what they thought would be useful on deployment. So I'm going to tell you kind of what I packed and what worked for me, what didn't work, what I ended up ordering on the boat. I shaved my head on deployment, so don't mind my hair. We're trying to we're trying to grow it back. Alrighty, so I believe some of the most important things that I did pack were sheets, a sleeping bag, and a pillow. Didn't really need the pillow. The boat provided actually very nice pillows, but it took about 2 weeks to get those pillows in, so I'm kind of glad I packed at least one. But after that, on my rack, I did have two pillows, one kind of for support. Something I did end up buying on deployment for my rack was memory foam 2-inch topper. My hips killed without that topper. Afterward, I slept like a baby. Another thing that really helped, I always sleep with earplugs in and a face mask. Girls are on all different shifts. Luckily, I was in a berthing that there weren't many of us. I believe on my side, we only had about 18 females, but we're on nights, we're on days. I was actually on nights the entire time I was on deployment, so 5 months. I didn't really see the sun, and they're not very kind to the night shift on days. They still have drills, you still have to participate, you're still not getting a lot of sleep. That's probably the most difficult part about deployment is working every 12 hours, no matter what. You're not getting days off, you're not getting weekends, you're not getting any time to just chill. You're working every 12 hours. You get off work, you have to shower, you get in your rack, you go to bed, you wake up, and you do it all over again. Um, Another thing that really saved my life on deployment is I packed a plastic mug, like a coffee mug. I call it my deployment mug. I used that every day. I always had my mug on me. I always had a collapsible bowl that I bought in Daiso. Most of the stuff I actually bought in Daiso, and it lasted me all through deployment. And if anybody knows what Daiso is, in Japan it's almost like a cheap dollar store. Um, and all of this stuff has lasted me. It's still lasting me. Made it 6 months through deployment, including my shower shoes, and I use those every day. They were like knockoff Crocs for my shower shoes, which I highly recommend. You need shower shoes for the boat. That is just, it's non negotiable. But I recommend Daiso if you're going to go on deployment. It's very cheap, and everything still lasted. I also bought like a utensil set, so it had some chopsticks and a spoon. I use that every day as well. I bought a rechargeable USB powered fan. There were a couple days in the berthing where they shut off the air conditioning. And if you have ever been on a boat, as soon as they turn off that air conditioning, it's going to get hot. You're going to sweat. It's almost unbearable. All the girls on nights one night, we all woke up around the same time because we were sweating so bad we couldn't stay in our racks. I ended up having a catapult steam pipe above my head. So towards the end of deployment, I actually got into the sleeping bag, but almost 4.5 months, I did not get into that sleeping bag. It was too hot. So I just had my jammies and I slept on top of the sleeping bag. I couldn't get into the sheets. It was still too warm. But it's fine. Worked out. Another thing is a microfiber towel. I don't think you can get away with having a normal towel. A lot of girls did, but they kept them in the bathroom to dry. What's nice about the microfiber towel is I didn't like having my stuff scattered about the boat. I didn't know if theft would be more of a problem. Thank God it wasn't an issue in my berthing. But I had the microfiber towel. I would bring it back to my locker and I would hang it up on a hanger, and then it would be dry 12 hours later when I needed to take a shower and, do it all over again, which was honestly a real blessing. I brought my computer and my hard drive. I didn't have a single thing on my hard drive when I went on deployment, and you don't really need anything. Once I got onto the boat, I found people who had hard drives with thousands of movies, and I ended up just plugging the hard drive into a Pima and then just ripping it off of, that person's hard drive onto mine. And I ended up getting more than enough movies than I was even able to watch on deployment because you do not have a lot of time to even watch movies. By the time I got done showering and in my rack started a movie, I would just fall asleep. I'd pass out. You're too tired. Um, Another thing is a hydro flask. I had it every day through deployment. It's nice to have. You can't really get on without it. A lot of the times, even like the galley would run out of cups. You can't just, find a vessel to fill up with water, which I highly recommend. You stay hydrated. It gets very hot on deployment. Another thing is a backpack. I always had my backpack every single day. I looked like a loser, kind of, because every day I'm like, oh, I'm going to school, going to work. Had my backpack in it, had my deployment mug, my bowl, my utensil set, gum. I ended up getting really addicted to gum on deployment towards the end. I'm not sure why. So the little things that you start to miss, like the galley never had fresh, like bread. Missed bread. For some reason, butter. Butter's hard to get a hold of. Sour cream. I was really craving sour cream, so on Taco Tuesdays, I tried to load up on the sour cream. Anyway, earbuds, shower shoes, hard drive. Those were kind of the big things. I did end up bringing extra headphones. These are the cheap ones I bought from the Next. They were like $9, and I'm so glad I did because my previous headphones ended up breaking on deployment. You do have wireless ones that you can bring, but we go into certain states on the boat where you're not allowed to use Bluetooth. So you can't use Bluetooth all the time or wireless headphones. Like the wireless speakers you can't use. The MAs, Master at Arms, our police will walk around. They have this little, I don't know, device that I'm told that can track down, Bluetooth signals. I don't know. I just didn't do it when we went into, those heightened states of security. Um, that was just me. Some people did. That's fine. Whatever. I have an old phone. I used wired headphones. I actually didn't get these until my birthday. Someone got them for me. I've never had wireless headphones before, but it really came in handy when I did the PRT on the boat. You can just stoot in. You don't have any wires hanging around, and you can just run, which was great. Another big thing I want to talk about, though, is like mental health on deployment. I can't tell you how many times I got very sad. We didn't have a single port visit the entire time we were on deployment. No one ever got any time off. I can't even begin to describe the alone feeling you kind of get on deployment, and everybody's in the same boat, and you know that, and everyone's around you, and you talk to those people, but they can only give so much support because they're going through the exact same thing you are. You're all depressed and you're lonely and you're sick of it and you don't get a break. I think that was the hardest part for me mentally. They also sent me TAD, which is temporary assigned duty. I went to the Chiefs mess and I actually really enjoyed it. I was so mad at first. I don't know why. I was very sad, depressed. I was like, what's the point? I just learned everything in my shop and now they're sending me away. But it actually ended up being a blessing. In Chiefs Mess, every week we ended up getting a whole day off. So I think my day was like Tuesdays or Wednesdays. So every Tuesday or Wednesday, I I was able to do whatever I wanted for an entire 24 hours, which no one in my squadron got. So that was a blessing in disguise. I actually I got this book in San Diego. I found that in the first part of deployment, it was pretty good. I wanted to take advantage of it. I wanted to have a routine and work out and, do all the things you're supposed to on deployment. But the mental health aspect got so bad that I had to really start to cut out what wasn't making me happy. And unfortunately, that was working out and going to the gym. I cut it out. I think halfway through deployment, I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't want to get up early. I didn't want to go work out. It just wasn't making me happy. And then I started writing in this book every day, trying to find something to be thankful for. It's so easy to be negative on the boat and you're around negativity all the time on deployment. It really does suck. It's not fun. It is not fun. The Navy I know currently is way different from the Navy that was pre-COVID. and that did suck. But I wanted to try to focus on at least one positive thing every single day and write it down, and that really helped. Um, I also started to kind of find my own rhythm, I guess, my own little things that I could do that would make myself feel better mentally, um, which was showering using a very nice like face wash that someone ended up giving me on the boat. Um, it was so enjoyable. That was my little piece of heaven, being in the shower, being able to just kind of indulge in something like that, because when you're on deployment, you're wearing the same outfit every day. Um, it's not even a comfortable one. It's long sleeves. You're in the Middle East. It's very hot. You're up on the flight deck. It sucks wearing the long sleeve and the flight deck pants and your boots. You're wearing that every single day, and you only get, like, I had 5 shirts and 3 pairs of pants. That's probably the hardest thing on the boat is laundry. I found that other than mental health, was the biggest worry for me, was trying to get away from work, get in, try to do laundry, personal laundry. Shop laundry wasn't very reliable, and sometimes it would take days and days to get back, or we ended up having them lose an entire bag. Um, so then there goes who knows how many outfits for work that you can't really get back. I don't know if supply on other ships or other commands is more reliable, but I still don't have a second pair of boots, and I've been at my command for 7 months now, so I'm really going to try to get that second pair of boots. Um, but other than that, I'm not sure what else I can tell you. I've had a lot of people reach out to me actually and ask if it's worth it, if they should join. I really think that's a personal decision. Um, so far, I've had to kind of, like I said, refocus on the positive things, what I wanted from the Navy, why did I join. If you guys recall, it was 3 major things. I wanted to live in Japan, I wanted that zero down VA home loan when I got out, and I wanted to finish school. I have a 2-year degree right now. I want a 4-year degree. And I just have to remember that I was lucky enough that, I was still able to join and get everything that I wanted out of the Navy. Just, even now, to be able to walk away with those things is great. We did get some bad news on deployment where now the Navy is saying in order to use tuition assistance, you have to have served 3 years or more, which was kind of a big slap in the face for a lot of people. I know a lot of people are very angry. It's almost like, oh, why did I even join? That's kind of big factors. I wanted to be able to go to school while also serving my country. I know that's kind of hard being like FDNF, but I was going to try to make it work, do some online schooling. But now that's almost my entire contract. Might as well, I don't know, maybe wait until I'm out, or I don't know, we'll see what we're going to do now. So that was kind of a bummer. Also, I don't know, another thing about the boat, while I was TAD, I think September 17th, I ended up injuring myself pretty bad. I fell down a ladder well. I landed on my left ankle on the outside part with all of my body weight, and I ended up being in like the boat hospital for 2 nights. It was a whole thing. They thought I broke my ankle, had to get x-rays over and over again, had to see a physical therapist. I've actually been limited light duty for the past 2 months because of it. And tonight, that's probably why I sound so out of breath, is I finally went running for the first time since I hurt my ankle. It's so crazy. I ended up doing my PRT, probably finishing it 2 days before I fell down that ladder well and really hurt myself. And I think that mentally really challenged me as well. They pulled me out of TAD because I was useless. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand. I ended up going back to my shop and just kind of sitting there until the end of deployment. So every 12 hours, I was either in my rack, at medical, or just in the shop doing nothing. And it was, I don't know, it was nice, but it was bad. I felt bad for my fellow colleagues because I'm just sitting there, I'm dead weight. I can't help them out. I can't really do anything. But also, there's another side where I'm like, I'm injured. I shouldn't feel guilty for trying to heal before I go back out there and kill myself for the Navy again. Um, so I don't know. Mentally, I, I'm dreading next deployment. I'll be honest. Some of these kids amaze me. They get up, they go to work, they don't complain. That some of them are on their third deployment. Some of them are on, Corona crews. So last year, they were extended for a very long time. No ports. I don't know how they did it mentally, but they just wake up every day and they have this like outlook, like, it's not that bad. And for me, I don't know. I don't have that outlook. It was very hard for me. Um, and honestly, now that we've had deployments, the Navy has seen that we can do it without any port visits. I'm worried that they'll find it more beneficial to not have port visits, or that they'll keep pushing the envelope or the boundaries of their workers to, I don't know if it saves money to not do port visits or it saves face. I'm not sure. But I hope they bring port visits back, because I feel like if we at least got one port visit a month, maybe one every 2 months, it would have definitely helped my mental status. We did end up getting a Wi-Fi on board of the boat. It wasn't great Wi-Fi, and you could only use it on the mess decks and only at certain times. So it was kind of a bummer after I fell down the ladder well, because I couldn't make it down to the mess decks ever. So I think for like 2 months, I just didn't have any communication with anybody. My mom was worried, you know, things like that. It was just small things. But I'm glad they did get us Wi-Fi. That was, uh, it was a blessing, especially without any port visits. I don't want this video to be too long, though. I don't know if you guys want me to do like a show you around Japan. I don't know what I do for the weekend. If you want me to show you my room, this is a boys' room. I have a roommate still. The barracks are just like they are in Pensacola, which is kind of a bummer. Same furniture and everything, but if you guys want like a room tour, I can show you my side of the room. I've really tried to make it homey because I know that I'm going to be here for a very long time, and I know mentally that's what's going to help me kind of feel at ease being an older person, having to deal with being treated like an 18-year-old who just, left mother's house. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. But otherwise, I will see you next time.